What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Redcat Live, episode 86 at that. And I got none other than Mr. Shane McCula, one of our lead engineers, especially when it comes to the RDS Drift Car. So, today we're going to dive really deep into the RDS. We're going to talk about it. We're going to also share some information with you guys that wanted some information on a kit. So, before we get started, watch the official video if you haven't already. When you guys come back, we'll get into it. Wow, bro. I cannot believe that we're here. We've been telling these folks nonstop for months that it was gonna be an amazing year when it comes to drops for us or through us, right? Yep. And man, I think by far out of all the drops that we've done so far, which has only been 3, right? Mm-hmm. Gen 9 I'm a big fan of. The LRH286 Show Builders kit, fan of. But dude, I'm not gonna lie, this right here has got me so excited and just absolutely just in love with the game, right? We talked about this a few times. I came from the old school, turning nitro cars into drift cars, not even calling it drifting. It was just sliding, and
power sliding.
right. And then that would turn into some cool stuff that we saw overseas with the all-wheel drive scene. And then the rear-wheel drive scene started kind of taking off all on its own over the years, and it's kind of had its ebbs and flows. But man, this to be a US-based company and have our own rear-wheel drive drift car like that, there's something so cool about that, man. It's just so dope, man. I love it. So Shane, welcome back to the show. It's always good having you on. You're so intuitive, and you are the mastermind behind the Redcat RDS. So let's kick this bad boy off. Man, why drift car?
So drift recently has becoming like a huge niche. It's still not totally accepted by a lot just because it's so much more tuning than you would kind of expect. And ready to runs run the market for crawlers, touring car, all these other markets. But there's only really been like one decent ready to run for a little while. There's 2 or 3 that are out there, but they're kind of hard to get. So we're like, hey, maybe we should look into this market and do a drift car. So
that's great. So how long ago was that conversation, would you say?
It was probably maybe 2.5 years ago.
Wow. So would you say that this was a 2.5-year project?
Probably a 2-year project.
Solid.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Shane, tell us a little bit. So folks want to know, the people that don't know you, if you know Shane, you know what he's about. You know who he represents. You know what his background is. But there's a lot of folks on here that they don't know you from Adam. So can you give us a little bit of the rundown, man? What qualified you to be the man with a plan?
So I'm actually the founder and owner of Tandem RC. We're one of the largest drift shops in the nation. And we've been open for about 4 years. I've been drifting for about 8 years back when it was all-wheel drive, and then eventually the helicopter gyros enabled us to do rear-wheel drive, and then from there on, I was totally hooked.
So you have years of experience running your own track, your own business within the drift scene, the RC drift scene. I also know you've had some experience and some fun with the one-to-one scene. I don't know how heavy that is, but you have had some fun in the past, right?
Yep.
So true, you are a well-rounded, knowledgeable person when it comes to the drift scene.
I'd like to say so.
Okay, all right. Hold on, let me just pop your collar really quick. I got to pop my boy's collar because he's doing big things for us, man. And I'm telling you, I was hooked from the moment you put this thing in my hands. And originally, I was not able to drive it because I was filming, right? So a lot of the video that you guys saw, the video that you guys just saw was my hard work and dedication into filming, editing, and cutting and releasing a video that I was hopeful would change the way a product would be released. And I would never have even had that opportunity if it wasn't for the amazing team back there, you coming up with this great product, and you driving too. Because, recording a car is one thing, but having some folks that actually know how to drive it, that's a whole nother ballgame. So before we kind of dive into the specs, we woke up early on a Monday morning, about 5 a.m., and we started filming multiple scenes with this car, both here in the warehouse, as well as some other structures that would then venture us to land at Tandem RC.
Yeah.
What was your biggest challenge for that?
Like video-wise?
Yeah. Me telling you to go?
Pretty much, yeah. Waking up at 5. The driving, like, I've been doing this for quite a lot with the rear-wheel drive, so I'd say I'm a pretty good driver. I can drive pretty much everything. So it's a situation of, as long as someone else is there to chase and make it look good, then we're good to go.
Let me tell you, I don't think I made it look amazing. I don't even think I made it look good. I did the best that I could. But it's this kind of dedication right here. See that? See that right there? There's me with my gimbal and my DSLR, my Ronin DJI gimbal. There's Shane driving right here. This is the dedication that it takes to create a video.
You should have seen Oscar getting in that cart. It was hilarious.
And let me tell you, I actually think I lost more weight chasing those cars that week than anything else. But that's what I'm getting at, is that the entire process of doing this with you guys has been, nothing short of a good time. It's been a great experience. I was able to go down to the shop, meet a lot of the local guys that you hang out with quite often. And man, it's a great segue for a lot of folks that, like myself, have into so many sectors of the RC hobby. And some are coming around and going crawling in Arizona when it's 150 degrees outside and you're melting your Predator compound tires on the rocks. It's kind of nice to do something that has AC involved and you're indoors.
Nice AC. You can get food locally. And,
absolutely. So, that was, the synopsis, man. It took us a few days of filming. We had a great time. The entire team, shout out to Aaron, Shane, Cody, and the rest of the guys that showed up and helped us out at Tandem to film that day. It's been fun. It's been great. And I love the reception that people have had, not just for the car itself, but for the video. It really is a true testament of something that we did with a lot of fun and a lot of heart. So let's get into it. Let's dive into it, man. I know the folks want to know what makes this different from the other competitors out there as far as what this car comes with. So let's dive into it, man. You designed this thing from top to bottom.
For the most part, I didn't design the body.
Well, of course. Yeah. So that's a great place to start. Let's talk about the body.
So the body's a concept car, not really based on anything specifically. It's got certain components of other vehicles kind of jumbled into one. It is unlicensed. A lot of people have asked, why is it unlicensed? Mostly due to cost. We wanted this to be a $399 release, so it's pretty comparable to the rest of the ones on the market, considering all the stuff underneath is added features that certain other brands don't have. So in order to keep that cost down, we had to go with an unlicensed body.
I love it. So we saved a little bit on the licensing to then spend on an actual better chassis, a better suspension, adjustability, all of these things that for the hobbyist, the enthusiast that knows this scene, that's a monetary value that it stands out. Do we know who made this body or who designed this thing?
Yeah. So Nemo, who's a concept vehicle artist, I don't know the official title, but he makes concept art. He designed our Kaiju EXT body, I believe the Kaiju OG body. So he's done quite a bit.
Right. Nemo's actually a really awesome graffiti artist as well. Nemo, if you're out there, I want you to do something for me, please. But Nemo did a great job on this. I know a lot of folks were really vocal about the body and they don't like the body. Well, guess what? The majority of the people that are in the drift scene own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies. Listen, I've only been into this sector of the rear-wheel drive drift scene for just about 2 days, and I just bought my 3rd body from him. So I mean, I'm not lying. I'm hooked. I love it. I was able to take the car out to Antioch, California, run it through its paces out there. That was a good time. And the more wheel time I get with it, the more I enjoy it. If you can have fun with any sector of the hobby where you just can't physically put the remote down because you're enjoying it that much, you hit the nail on the head. You know what I'm saying? So what comes included in the ready to run?
All right. So obviously the body comes on the ready to run. And then this one's a little used, so the tires are a little worn.
This is a movie car, actually.
Yeah. This is one of the cars in the film. So you get a carbon upper, lower, front and rear shock tower, carbon motor plate, aluminum body shocks, full turnbuckles front and rear, so you can adjust your camber, caster, toe, Ackerman, and other features. And then it's got an adjustable Ackerman steering rack, so it's called a direct steering system.
And from what I understand and what I've read leading up to this, it's kind of become a real popular design.
Yeah, so in the last 6 months to a year, direct to started becoming the in thing for drifting, which happens to be nice that the one I designed is the in thing.
Very cool. Very cool. So what comes standard on this thing that out of the box? What are we looking at here?
So it's got, this is out of the box. So obviously we've used it but no modifications have been added. This is how it comes. So you get all the a nice motor and ESC, a drift spec servo, and a drift spec gyro, and they're pretty solid when combined. Right. So the motor is actually specific to this. We took a normal 540 can motor and asked our manufacturer to take some magnet out, basically, so that it has a lot less drag. So it's a lot better for drifting, especially on like a slick surface.
And if I'm not mistaken, you guys also, you specifically, after testing a bunch of different motors that they sent you to test out, you wanted to go with the highest RPM that you can find, or a happy medium of RPM?
There's kind of a medium, but for the drifting, you want a lower amount of torque than you would normally have on like a buggy or a bash or something like that, and a lot more RPM.
Very cool.
The RPM itself isn't super necessary. It's just having low rolling resistance is the most important thing.
Right. So this bad boy comes in at $399, and it comes standard with features like adjustable turnbuckles on the suspension, front and rear, aluminum shock bodies, front and rear, a 3300 kV brushless system with a 60 amp ESC. So all of these things equivalent to the monetary value that you see with the car. I believe compared to the market that we're catering to, we're within the percentage of what this should be, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, so this kit realistically is a great value. Like some of the kits it's going up against, if you compare them, are like almost $100, maybe $150 more for the same kind of features.
Right. So. Rear motor plate mounting point, which other manufacturers usually charge extra for, that is included already as well. The tires that come on the car, what would you consider these tires good for? The beginner that first is using this is going to want to know, where is this safe to use this?
So they're kind of designed for like a unpolished concrete, kind of like in your driveway or on sidewalk, something like that. They'll work really well in like if you're trying it in your garage or like driving straight to your friend's house. They're really kind of general use. If you're using them on like a polished concrete surface or like P-tile, they're going to be a little grippy. You can always add camber to kind of get rid of that, but yeah.
And then of course, you owning a shop, let's say someone comes in and says, hey, I just bought this, I want to buy that car from you, I want to use it on your track. Do you have a recommendation based on your location's needs?
So usually every drift track kind of around the country, around the world, has a spec tire. So you either have to run that or run something close to it, or have to just run a new tire. So if you do end up going to the track, you'll be using a different tire most likely anyway. So that's why we kind of made this compound to be like a sidewalk concrete type thing. So
for those of you that are fresh into this sector of the hobby, it's definitely a good tire to rip apart and just get to know your car and make those adjustments to find your driving style, right?
Yep.
So that is in essence what comes in the package as far as in the box. Any additional features that are included in the box for the end user that maybe wants to elevate his drifting game besides just being a entry-level competitor?
So out of the box, all the suspension mounting points are set. But it comes with all the pills to do every single numbered change that you'd want. And I think there's like 2 packs, or there's 4 full like mold trees of them.
Right, and that is to adjust
your toe of the arm itself.
Got it. What adjustments can you do on this chassis right out of the box?
So
what is adjustable?
Basically everything. So the only thing I think you can't adjust is the rear lower width, but you can do the front width of the lower arm, the camber, which is basically your upper arm setting, the toe, the Ackerman. There's a couple different Ackerman positions on the plate itself. There's a couple different Ackerman positions on the knuckle. And then on the rear, you can adjust your camber and your roll center based on where you want to put that. You can also adjust where your shock is located. So it's kind of a lot.
And there's a lot of adjustments, guys. When I'm telling you guys that this thing is full of adjustments, Shane is not lying. On the shock tower, there's a multitude of holes for you to move and adjust. the shocks to your liking. Same thing with the rear as well. Let me see if I can show that. There we go. You guys can see the holes there. What kind of battery is used on something like this?
So normally you'd be running a 2S low center gravity style battery. That's mostly used for competitions. Or you could be running a 2S shorty LiPo that's not low center gravity. If you're going to a track, this is kind of what I recommend. Something like this Gen 8 5000. It's got a decent amount of runtime. On the ready to run, you'll probably get like 2 to 3 hours of runtime, honestly, off of this. But it works great. But you can also extend out the battery mount. So if you bought the ready to run, the battery mounts will already be extended for like a regular stick pack.
Those are the bigger 2S packs.
Yeah.
The hard case.
So pretty much like your most common RC battery, which should fit pretty good. But it's going to be a little heavy, so it'll change the driving characteristics a little bit. You'll get a little more roll out of it, which some people do like. But the shorty is the most common.
Interesting. Is there the benefit weight wise?
It kind of depends. So like when you're coming out of a corner, if you have less mass, you can accelerate faster. So technically having a smaller battery can help you get out of the corner faster. But it also depends on your tune. So like if your tune's set up to roll, having a bigger battery could help. Like personally, and even when I do competitions, I'm running the regular 2S shorty. I don't run the LCG one.
Very cool. So that's the suspension geometry. Lots of adjustments, guys. So if you're the kind of person that is just getting into the scene and wants to grow with it, the RTR is going to be a great place to start, right? Because it's going to come with the basic electronics to get you rolling. And as you progress and want to make these adjustments to your suspension and alignment geometry, you can do so. All of those adjustments already exist in the vehicle. And let's say that you wanted to progress furthermore, right? And you wanted to get a little bit more nutty with it. Well, the motor is clockable, right? What is the benefits of clocking the motor? I know there's 3 positions you can put it in. This is the top position. You can put it in the forward top position and then on like a mid motor position.
Yeah. So it really kind of depends on where you're driving at. So for this upper rear location, it's going to give you the most roll and the most rear weight. So for like most of the comp drivers, that's an ideal position for the motor right in front of the axle. So as you get the body roll back, it'll kind of put the weight right over the axle. We have a slightly more forward position. It allows you to clear certain bodies. And some people might not want the 67-ish% rear bias that the car comes with. You can move that forward and it'll be like a 63, 64-ish probably. Or if you're running on, say, like concrete all the time, and it's unpolished, or you're running on asphalt or something like that, you really don't need the roll to build up traction. So you can just move this all the way down. That'll kind of help in some of those high grip scenarios, kind of like carpet, stuff like that.
Right. We are actually working with quite a bit of different folks that are getting this car in their hands, and they're going to start making these adjustments to these cars, and we're going to want to do a setup sheet of some sort, right? And what is a setup sheet for those folks that don't know the drift RC world?
So if you've been into like buggy racing or, well, really any kind of RC racing, usually the manufacturers have a setup sheet. So this will tell you like the distance between the turnbuckle rod ends, or like what hole all the adjustments are at. And this will basically, when you go to a new track, you kind of write down all the settings you have, and then you can save, basically just print it out and then save it. So next time you go to the track and you're like, oh, when I was here, this setup used really good, worked really well.
Right. And we actually already started adding those to our website, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys go to the product description of this product itself, it's actually on our link. There should be something down at the bottom.
Yeah, so if you go to the RDS link and then you go to downloads, I think it's the 3rd link now, has a blank setup sheet, and then what they're ready to run is set out of the box. So the ready to run out of the box is kind of set for like the beginner. So normally you can see the steering's a little limited due to a brake caliper that's designed to be cut off if you want to go for the crazy angle that like some of the people are going for.
Show them the angle on that one, if you can.
So this
we don't have to show what it is, because we'll get into it, but just do exactly what I'm doing here and show them
Let me-
that angle. I can show the bottom of it.
This is technically a kit, but let's, yeah.
So you guys can see that amount that he's getting out of it in comparison to the amount here. The car is set up conservatively out of the box because we knew that there was going to be a lot of folks that have zero experience in the Drift RC world. So why give them something that they won't be able to drive? We wanted to make it enjoyable, right? There's nothing less fun than buying something that you're like, man, I bought it. I just spent 20 minutes driving it. I can't drive it. There's no fun in that. So we wanted to make something that was user friendly to everyone out of the gate, but that had all of the available options to adjust as you grow and progress in the hobby. In the description of this video, guys, I went ahead and I added links of the unboxing of this car that was done by quite a bit of people. And more specifically and more importantly, someone who I personally value their information because it really was intuitive. Big shout out to Roadside RC, Scale Science, right? Who else got this bad boy?
A-Main got one. Ninjona
got one. Yep.
I have to remember. I was in charge of
RC Every Day, RC Review. So we sent them to a couple of folks that never had drifting experience, as well as some folks that have extensive RC drifting experience. Because we wanted to kind of get an idea of multitude of people and different levels of experience with the sector of the hobby to really gauge an honest review for folks. So RC driver, exactly. So if you guys go to the link, the links on the description of this video, you should find some of the videos. I specifically put in Roadside RC's videos, link for his unboxing and overview, as well as a very important video that I got a lot of information out of, which was his alignment settings that he did. He goes in super high depth detail on those adjustments, and he really did an exquisite job at doing that. So big shout out to Roadside RC. He did an amazing job on that, and we look forward to what his RDS series is going to do in the next coming weeks. So the car itself, Shane, you put a lot of hard work into this. Years of hard work and dedication. I know that there's a reason why everything is the way it is, all the way down to the design of the lower plate. I know that we were talking a little bit about some flex and some give and some rigidity needs. This, in my opinion, is your Mona Lisa.
Pretty much, yeah. So
you guys got that, right? You got that? Yeah. Tokyo Drift? Hey, I'm just saying. It's really an honor, man, to be here with the company and to work with someone like you that really had a lot of information, engineering knowledge to put together this awesome package, right? I know Mr. Matt Jackson worked on the body mounts for this car. Some folks were asking about how the diffusers will work with an aftermarket body. I have a HPI Corvette body that's been non-existent for years and somehow recently came back up in the scene. I'm actually able to run my front splitter with that one. But it may not be the case for everybody out on the market, right?
Like the splitter will work for quite a bit. The diffuser, a lot of the bodies are a little longer. Our body's pretty short as far as like the overhang, which is a lot nicer for like, you see a lot of guys with a competition spec bodies running like certain hatchbacks that are very short on the rear, very short on the front. And it's easier to do a comp with a shorter body.
Less real estate to throw around.
Yeah, right? Like the box is a certain width for everyone. Right. If you can get a little smaller, it's easier.
I will say this: the Drifty 9. I don't know if anyone saw the Drifty 9 on the video, but the Drifty 9 was a joke in essence of us stretching one of these chassis to put on a 59. And dude, you whipped that bad boy around that track like it was nothing.
Oh yeah,
numerous times. And it's fun to see that old school big body whip like that. You know, I mean, it blew me away. So man, kudos for that, bro. Big shout out again for all the things you did on this. You absolutely killed it. With that said, folks that don't want an RTR, they're like, yeah, dude, cool story. I don't want the body and I don't want the electronics. I want to build because I own X, Y, and Z of this drift company, and I've been in drifting for a long time. So what do we, Redcat, you, the engineer have for them?
Talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So a lot of people have been asking since we dropped our Ready to Run if we're going to come out with a kit. Well, we are. Hold on.
There it is, folks. The RDS Builders Kit. It is an actual builder's kit. I know a lot of people aren't used to builder's kits from us. I think the last time we really did a builder's kit version was the Wendigo, and I think before that was the Gen 8 pack. This is what I ended up getting myself. Shane also has one as well. This is his kit car that you guys see here. Making sure it says the Redcat in the right direction. So what's the benefit of having a kit car over the RTR for that person that does not know?
Well, you can choose your electronics pretty much. So the kit's going to be $239. So you save the money from the electronics to put into maybe your favorite electronics. I know there's a lot of guys who are really like into a certain brand of electronics and they want to run that specifically. So if you buy the Ready to Run, it's $399, and then you're basically throwing away those electronics to throw in everything else. So if you buy the builder's kit, you're saving what?
Jeez, I'm bad at math.
$160. You're saving a decent amount at $239. But with all the stuff this comes with, it's still a really good value.
Now, is there any difference between the kit and the RTR?
The only thing the kit doesn't have is the electronics.
And the body.
And the body.
Right.
So it'll still come with the splitter and diffuser that the Ready to Run comes with. It comes with the aluminum filled shocks. It comes with the carbon. It comes with the turnbuckles. The only thing you don't get are the electronics themselves.
Wheels and tires as well.
Yep.
Are included. You still get the same carbon fiber components that are included in the Ready to Run. All the adjustability that we mentioned the RTR comes with will come standard on the kit as well. And these bad boys should be available within the next couple days. So keep a close eye out. If you are in the market for a kit instead of the RTR, we got you. It's coming. We should have it available on our website within the next couple days to hopefully keep you going, you know. Something that some folks had questions on.
That one has it.
This one? Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that there's some folks who are going to start getting these, and we're actually going to have a introductory video that should be live hopefully by tomorrow or before the end of the weekend to kind of run you through the intro to the RDS. It'll be available on our website, and it's going to be part of a multi-series video album to kind of help you grow with your car. And the first one's going to show you how to set endpoints, how to kind of just the overview of the car from our view. And then we'll get into some actual how to drift things, right? But one question that you got that folks may not know is these wheel caps on these wheels.
So the wheel caps, it's going to be kind of hard to see on the live stream.
I can bring it in closer.
You just want to show them that picture?
Yeah.
That might be easy. So I thought it was really cool to design a wheel kind of like some of the main tuner wheels where the axle comes through the wheel. Usually, like a lot of the higher end wheels won't actually come with a center cap. So these wheels are designed so you put the wheel on, you put a small thin nut on it basically to hold the wheel on, and you just slap this cap over it, and the threading from the axle basically holds it on.
So what you guys see protruding in the middle of that center cap is actually the axle, the threaded part of the axle itself. So to take those off, you have to get a tiny screwdriver and poke right behind one of those little spokes, little openings, and pop the cap off to access the 8 mil, right? 8 millimeter nut?
It's going to be 7 mil.
7 mil nut.
Yep.
And it's a thin, low profile one. Okay.
Yeah, so if you do have issues with the nut backing off, they are Loctited from the factory. You can always just throw a regular lock nut on there. You won't be able to use the center cap, but it really depends on where you're driving. On the track, or at least on polished concrete or P-tile, they won't have any issues falling off.
Right. Body does, one thing we did not mention, does come with some light buckets inside of it. Do you know what size light buckets we're working with?
I believe they're 3 mil, but I'll have to check. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah. And you have, it definitely looks like 3 mil. And it looks like you're going to have two front, one here and one there. light buckets for your, headlights. And then you should have an opportunity for 2 rear on each side. So 4 total ones for the rear. And the light buckets do exist right here and here. So in essence, the RDS for a lot of folks out there is catering to a multitude of people. Those that want to get into drifting and want a stable platform that can grow with them, their needs and their experience as they grow, as well as the kit, which is going to be for our diehard fans that want to go all out and want to compete. So there's definitely something I feel for everyone's needs when it came to this, and I really think you did an awesome job with it. I mean, obviously, you got me sold, so just take my money already, So yeah, if you want to just load yours up into my truck, just leave it there, bro. I'll accept that. So let's get into some of these. Yeah, let's get into some of these questions now that we've gone through some of the overview, and see if we can help get some answers for you guys as well. All right.
When are you going to talk about the So the transmission's a 4-gear. They're straight cut spur gears. That's pretty much it.
3-gear, 4-gear, 5-gear.
It's a 4-gear. It's got a gear diff. It's pretty simple.
Right. And what weight of differential oil are you guys running?
5,000.
5,000. Shock oil, pistons. What are we working with?
So shock oil up front is going to be a 20 weight. Shock oil in the rear is going to be 25 on the ready to run at least. The kit comes with them. And then in the front and rear, it's going to be 6 piston. I believe the holes are 1.3 millimeter holes.
So John wants to see a little bit of what this chassis flex has on it. So
I grab the shock towers.
Grab the shock towers? Yeah. Okay. So from here to here?
Yeah.
All right. So can't even grip that.
It's got a decent amount of flex.
But I mean, I'm cranking on it to get that amount of flex. So it's it actually feels really good on the track. We've been able to do quite a bit of tuning both at his track with this product, which is, in my opinion, where this car grew up.
Yep.
Right.
It's been about a year of testing on the track.
Right. Right. So. And the coolest thing about it is that we've been able to keep it under wraps for quite a bit of time, let alone there's been a lot of people that have known about this because we've been working so diligently, and you've been running it at the track with all kinds of weird no-name bodies on it to try and hide what it was, right?
Thankfully, a lot of the guys at the shop are, they keep secrets well, I guess. Can a CLSD fit? I don't personally have one, so I don't actually know the answer to that question. Should be close, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Let me see. Let me double check some of these questions. Yes, adjustable turnbuckles on the aluminum body shocks.
Will it come with the aero kit? Yeah, so it's going to come with, the kit will come with the splitter and diffuser that are on the ready to run body.
710 RCs wants to know, do you know the wheelbase on it?
Yeah, out of the box, it's 257. You can go from 253 to 261. If you got there's some bodies on the market that have come out recently that are like a 260, so change that. So a couple of people were asking, we posted a picture of the kit earlier today. The springs look a little weird in the render. That's just due to the render. There was a little bug when we were transferring it over. It's the same springs in the kit as are on the ready to run.
Right. It's just aesthetically speaking from the rendering, because this is not an actual photograph, that's an actual rendering image. They do tend to look a little bit different here. But rest assured that they're the exact same ones that are on the RTR. Let's see. Builder's kit is cheaper. Austin Barnes says that price compared to the other comp kits is inexpensive. I'd agree, but that's also the benefit of watching us grow within this market, right? And by no means do we want to come into the market just to undercut people. We just really found, I feel, an affordable, great performing product that was honestly a bargain of a price to make. So why not share that wealth with you guys at the same time? you know. Double check, make sure. Austin Barnes, please send that to my address. Hey, that's what's
already
up.
ordered one.
Can we have a Fast and Furious special? Krista Graff wants to know. I mean, I don't know. You never know. Let's see. Now you need a couple of JDM bodies and an E30 Beamer body. Well, they're already out there, Bob's RC, thankfully. You can pick up so many different body styles out there that can suffice any of your needs moving forward. Price of the kit looks like we're coming in at about $239.
Yeah, $239 for the kit.
$239 is going to be for the kit. The ready to run will come in at $399. Rest assured, though, just know the kit, if you don't know, comes with no electronics, no body. So obviously, this is going to be for someone that wants to spend on those things and or already has them. So keep that in mind, guys. And the reason why I'm talking on so many different variety of levels is because in this chat, in the live, we have people from all walks of life, from those that are just getting into the scene to those that are really highly experienced. So, practice some patience with us as we try to answer everyone's questions when it comes to this kit.
There's some more technical ones. I know there was a gear ratio question down there.
Let me see. When do the Taco King signed it? You're not going to get them. You might get a New Balance signed edition because that's Shan's thing. You never know. You don't want my taco fingers all over this stuff, man. Taco graphics. I might have to make my own taco library to offer separately, of course, for those needs. Okay, pinion and spur tooth count on the Archer. Any idea?
I don't actually remember. It is on the setup sheet on the website. I know so for gear ratio wise, the transmission's a 2.6 gear ratio, and the FDR for the ready to run comes out to about 8.8, which is a little low. I know some of the guys on the track like to run a little higher, like a 10. 8.8 worked out really well for how this felt, like for concrete, P-tile, polished concrete, kind of an all-around FDR. So.
Absolutely. And then to answer your question, where was it? I just saw one that I wanted to get. No, it does. Chasing Danny wants to know, does it come with the LiPo? No, none of these will come with the battery. Because of the multitude of battery options, and honestly, quite frankly, moving forward, a lot of manufacturers are kind of steering away from adding a battery into their products. But with this specific car, you can run, a hard case pack 2S or even a 3S or you can run one of the low profile ones that we were showing you guys a little bit ago as well when it comes to the 2S. So a lot of different companies are making those batteries. So yeah, lots of options when it comes to that. Will the build kit come with the cool red tools in the box? No, Scar does not come with any tools at all. That was just for the livery image itself. 540 motor can motor, yes. Gyro on board, Jason wants to know, yes. Let's see, we already talked about MSRP. Will there be Metal Gear upgrades for this?
Probably not. Usually in RC Drift, you really don't need it. Like, I've been running this specific car for legitimately probably a year now, and no grease in the trans, it does fine. The plastic is kind of self-lubricating, so you really don't need metal gears for it. So.
Matthew Ray wants to know, does the kit come with new body magnets?
The kit will not come with the steel plate or the magnets for the body. So you'll have to buy that separately.
Will the sticker sheet be available separately? Ooh, you know what, Austin? Only time will tell. Usually, I know we've not done those unless they come with the body itself. I'm sure if you buy a clear body, I wouldn't be surprised if they came with a clear body.
Sure the clear body comes
but I don't think the stickers will be available just as a sheet by itself. Teddy, yeah, you need to do a signed Taco King edition. No, you don't. Nobody wants that. Stop it. Stop it. This is Shan's moment. I want Shane over here to take this, man. I'm telling you guys, he did an amazing job on this thing. I really do enjoy my car, and I've personally have a kit. I'm running a D10, right? 10.5 motor, hobby wing in mine. Got a Yokomo servo, gyro, and yeah, I'm hooked. Like, no joke. if Tandem Drift wasn't so far away from home, I'd probably just ask if I can rent the back room and just live there. I think my wife might be happy because she won't have to hear me snore at night. So that's a win-win, right? Thank you, Alec. We appreciate that, man. We put a lot of hard work into that video, all of us here, and it truly was awesome to do. In fact, for those of you guys that stay till the end, I'm going to share with you guys a little clip. It's a 33-second clip that I did not add into the original video. It was in the original video, but then it would have made the video like 4.5 minutes long. So we decided to take it out, and we're going to use it as a short clip. I'll share that with you guys before we head out. Chris Mack, what's going on, good sir? How you doing? I'm Jesse says, great release, looks super impressive as an RTR. Thank you for that. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Dixie? Hopefully you're having a great one. Edwin Ingles for carpet. Did I miss another comment from you maybe?
It's a good FDR for carpet.
Oh yeah, good FDR for carpet. Yes, absolutely. Is the Impala body on the website under RDS page for this chassis?
It is not. So the stock out of the box wheelbase is incorrect. We may in the future come out with a chassis kit that allows you to mount an Impala, but out of the box it does not. And we currently don't have that option.
I mean, if you have a want, let's say that you're dying to have a 59 drift car or a 64 drift car, you want something of that length. I mean, you guys just have to be vocal, man. Yeah, boss, you want to hear if they really want it? He wants to know if you really want it. So, be vocal about it, guys, because who knows? It might be something that could be in the works in the future. You just never know. Let me see. Replacement parts such as ball cups and shock O-rings.
Yep. If they're not already on the website, all the replacement parts for the car will be there soon.
Do you plan on making any hop-up parts?
Yes. So we already have 2 coming. I don't know if I'm allowed to say what they are, but we're planning over time. This is going to be like fully hopped up. If you're a drift guy, you kind of know what that means.
Are you guys coming out to the Long Beach Super Show? Yes. Jose, I will be there. I believe I will arrive Friday for that. And then we'll be at the event Saturday. So, yeah, that actually is a great segue because, guys, for a lot of you guys that don't know, next week I fly out after the show, I believe. No, I believe we may not have a show next week. Let me just double check that. Yeah, so next week there will be no show. I might go live a little bit from the airport at some point. He has to stay here and work on your guys' cool stuff for this. But I'm fortunate enough to head out to Florida to USTE for the 2nd year in a row. I look forward to going out there. I promise to not bash up any trails. I may or may not be bringing some cool stuff to have fun with. I'm looking forward to filming some stuff with Roadside RC while I'm out there with the drift cars. So it should be a great time. If you are planning on attending USTE, swing on by our booth. Say what's up. We'll have some stickers, some taco stickers with me as well for your rigs. I always like carrying those. So, yeah, right after that, we'll be coming back home. I'll be home for about half a week and then heading out to beautiful Long Beach for the Lowrider Super Show. This will kick off a multitude of events for Redcat as we're going to be as active as we possibly can be this year. I'm going to be at King of the Streets this year. We're going to be at, I believe, Houston for the Lowrider Super Show. We're going to do our standard, Arizona Lowrider Super Show out here. I believe we go back to Los Angeles at another point for another Lowrider show. So we're going to be really busy this year with events, and I hope to hang out with a lot of you guys wherever I can. And who knows, if we get lucky enough, I'd love to have some tacos with anyone. Let's do it. All right. Love the battery plug. Love the battery plug versus the X60. Everyone has a preference when it comes to plugs. Dean's a T-plug design. It's a great design. I'm slowly migrating into the XT60s for a lot of stuff, but
it's not really necessary for drift cars, at least.
Well, for me, I went all out. I followed the Shane way, guys, and I said, Shane, whatever you have, I want that. So, yeah, I run 5mm bullets on mine.
I run 4mm.
Okay, well, I'm overcompensating. So. That's also why I drive a lifted Chevy truck because I'm 5'6" I'm short, I know. How did you guys get the 59 body on the Drift chassis? As mentioned earlier, D'Angelo, we actually made a one-off extended chassis just to do this with for fun, for the video's sake. But as mentioned, if there's enough traction where people want that, be vocal about it. And who knows, maybe something that could come to fruition in the future. LiPo is preference. No RTR should come with one, in my opinion. I agree, Rob. Good call. 710 RCs. Did someone say Redcat? Ty, so as mentioned, Ty, I put a Hobby Wing D10, a 10.5 turn motor in mine. It is a lot of motor for my car, personally. I think I went against his recommendation. He told me to run a 13.5. I said, no, I want 10.5. He says, why do you need so much? I go, because there's going to be that time where I want it, and I won't have it. And just give me what I want. It was a difference of putting in a big block versus, small block, so. But yeah, that's what I'm running, Yokomo, gyro, and servo as well at this time. What guts are in that servo and gyro? Can you specify any information on that?
I don't know if I can say anything about that.
Okay, but we can talk about specs at least. So
yeah.
Any specs on the servo?
It's pretty quick compared to most of the others. I don't know the exact numbers. But the gyro's got fully adjustable endpoints. It's fairly high end.
It is a little touchy when making your adjustments, guys, as we do include a tool to adjust your gyro setting. It is a little touchy, so small increments go a long way from what I found out. Body post with the builder's kit.
Yes, the builder's kit will come with body post. It'll come with the builder. For the builder's kit, usually you wouldn't run a rear diffuser, and then we have a smaller bumper just in case it's not going to work with the splitter. So you'll have different options as far as that, but the body posts mount to a different system.
Are the magnet mounts in the kit render, will they be available separately?
I believe so. I'm not 100%.
Let's see.
Will there be hop-ups? Yep.
We mentioned that, yeah. S and RDS stands for Shan. That's right.
It's not exactly.
Well, then, do you have an official name for the S?
Yeah. Well, so it's the Redcat Drift, and then the S is a secret. So
secret.
Yeah.
Is it S for secret? Or?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a secret.
All right. Well, it's just RDS then, guys. Yep. Tyro King can drift. I can. Yeah. Just tell me there's tacos at the end of the track. I'll get sideways for them. Let's do it. What brand of servo and gyro internally, or what programmer does the servo take?
So I don't know if we can exactly mention. It's not a rebrand. It is from one of the larger servo manufacturers, and then I custom spec'd it. So it's not, you can't just get it off the shelf, realistically.
And it's not programmable that you know of?
Not that I know of. I haven't tried, but yeah.
All right, we answered that one. Eric says, the clip of you drifting the Corvette was great. Thank you. You're the one that recorded it. All right, let's see here. Yeah, go Shane. That's right, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
It's all you, bro. 2S battery, yes, that's what would be recommended on this vehicle, Teddy.
You can run a 3S if you really want to, but for most drifting, 3S is almost too much wheel speed, even though we do run a bunch of boost and turbo. But 2S is ideal.
Awesome, man. Ty Boynton? We'll definitely be picking one of these up ASAP and tearing it up. Hey, appreciate that, man. We hope you enjoy it. And as always, any of you guys that get one and have questions, we were fortunate enough to be able to get our support team out on the track with you and help get them really kind of up to date with the product, and they know it. So if you guys, once you guys get it, if you have any questions or need advice, you can always reach out to our support team. They're always available for you guys for that purpose. Yes, we are building hop-ups, as mentioned before. New bodies for it based on real cars.
So
this has been a question that's
probably
already been asked
talking about having a licensed body.
Yeah.
It's possible, but the price is going to go up. With a licensed body, it'll probably end up being $439, which is really, I fought so hard for all the carbon and aluminum stuff. that we really just wanted to keep it under $399. But in the future, if you guys really want a licensed body, we can make it happen. It's just going to be a little more expensive.
So yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. That's a pass-through charge, right? Let's see. Can the Monte Carlo fit?
Technically, yes. I haven't tried to put one on, so I don't know how the window trunk area will fit. Maybe if you use the low mount, it probably will. It might be kind of high in the rear, but you should be able to fit the Monte body.
So yeah, I tried with the it was a spur gear. I think that was my
Yeah.
Achilles heel when it came to that. Yoshi, what's going on, sir? How you doing? Let's see. So Rob Nick wants to know what kind of hop-ups we got. As mentioned, we can't really mention those right now, but we do have two things that we've already created, or that you already created.
Yep.
And when those are available and ready, we'll be able to send those out to market for you guys. And Shane is always working on other things, especially pertaining to this. And depending on the popularity that it's been getting with the traction within the communities, more stuff could come even sooner. So keep an eye out for those things. Dunk wheels on the MC trailer. Well, we mentioned those last week on the show. We actually showed you guys a few of those samples. So yeah, they're coming. No ETA at this moment, yet, but it is something that is in the works. So we appreciate that. Make it a street car. Okay. You can lots of bodies to make them street cars. I don't think I want to put rubber tires on it and run it as like an on-road car, if that's what you mean. Weird. It'd be super weird. I mean, I'd bash it still, but yeah, no, I still enjoy getting sideways a little bit more. Mark says, "What's up, Shane? The direct drive steering is awesome."
It works pretty well. If you do get one of these and you put a servo in and it's jittering a little bit, if it's adjustable, you'll have to turn the damper way down. That's just part of the direct drive system.
Is that one of your guys' terms right there?
I don't know. I know who that is. I just don't know what that is.
All right. Oh, man. All right. 710RCs, thank you for that, man. We appreciate it, man. Wishing us safe travels. That acronym is trick. Excited, John Michael says.
The RDS wheelbase is 257. It's adjustable within like 4 millimeters.
Perfect. Christopher said, "I want some taco stickers." Hey. Oh, man. Let's see. I'm just double checking some comments, guys, making sure that we are trying to get as many questions answered as for you guys as much as possible.
And just remember, like, we just created a Redcat RDS Facebook page. Oh, so if we miss any questions or you don't have time to go rewind this, just ask them in the group. Most of the engineers in the building and Oscar and some of the customer support guys are in there. So if I don't answer your question today, we'll get to it. So pretty much on there all day when I'm not working.
Eric says, 5 millimeters, only if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love it. It's an ongoing back and forth battle that we have with Eric. If you don't know Eric, Eric's from Gen Z's, and he is stuck on 5 millimeter bullets, and he somehow talked me into the same thing. Chris Linko, tacos and crawlers is absolute heaven. I agree, 100. What do you?
I guess we can answer that.
Okay, so John wants to know, what do you guys do to keep the cost down versus more expensive chassis that seem to have less performance mods? There's a lot of things that kind of go into this, right? And every manufacturer is going to have a different avenue of people who they deal with and what they've been able to negotiate, I'm sure. It also comes down to materials, and you also methodically, and this is where Shane and the owner really went into high detail on picking and choosing what is the massaging point to be able to get the most for the buck, right? I'm sure that if Shane had an open book, he could get us a $700 kit and a $1,000 RTR, and this thing would be balls on the wall, the most craziest drift car you've ever seen in your life. But we wanted to make something that was both affordable, fun, and could cater to a lot of different avenues. So that's, I guess, the best way that I can describe it. It's just there was a lot of mathematic equations and thoughts to try and find avenues instead of using the standard stuff that's out there, to try and find companies that would work with us to recreate some things that can give us a great price point. Is that pretty accurate?
much. Basically, like, we didn't really skimp out on anything chassis-wise. It was all, doing it on licensed body really helped, because I fought for, like, aluminum shock bodies, all carbon. All carbon was a really big thing that we were like, that's a lot of extra money, but I think it's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
How do you adjust the wheelbase? 710 RCs wants to know.
So basically, there's a toe block that holds a pin, some spacers, and the lower control arm. You can take the toe block off, move the spacers around, and then you can adjust your wheelbase with that. So,
love it.
the gyro and servo, I think we answered higher up. Technically, we can't say, but it's one of the larger servo gyro manufacturers. But it's tuned to my specs rather than out of the box.
Right. Nick Robb makes a great point. Says, all new guys think they need a 10.5 for drift. When the skills go up, they learn the 13.5 is king. Less wheel spin, more grip. That obviously sounds like something from someone that knows what they're talking about. I'm still going to run a 10.5. I don't care. I've been running them.
Well,
I've been having fun with them.
I'm actually running a 10.5 with a torque rotor, technically.
There you go. And I run a lot of boost.
Yeah.
So I just like the sound of it. Hey, but that's great information, Rob. Thank you for sharing that. Great touch on that. Let's see. So does that make the 8.5 I have in mind a Hemi? I mean, Chris, no one really likes a Hemi. I mean, let's be honest. Even you own one and you don't even like it. So let's be honest.
8.5 is a little much. If you're looking for electronics to go with these.
Listen, I'm so new. I was about to throw a 4.5 in mine, bro. I was going to go all out. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you're looking for electronics for these, you're going to want a 10.5 or a 13.5.
Right. And again, as everyone mentioned, 13.5 is great. And considering what the gearing on this is with this motor setup, I think a 13.5 is probably the more clutcher setup for a lot of folks, you know. I just was in the market. I said, you know what? I want what you run, Shane. And Shane's like, I run a 10.5. I've had great luck with it, so that's what I went with. Okay, you want to see the chassis again? Let's get another close-up. So here's the chassis. There's the front right there. All right. Engineering talk, yeah, pretty much. Does it hop? It does. It through emotions too. Look at that flex. What?
Yeah, the chassis have a lot of droop. That's kind of how drifting's going.
Right.
So.
All right. Yeah, Danny, this one will come. The RTR comes with a standard 2.4 gigahertz radio that we've been offering in the past. Hey, Roadside RC, look forward to it, brother. We'll see you at USDE for sure. Will Redcat be offering different tires?
It kind of depends. We might. So we'll see.
Right.
Depending on how this market goes, we're definitely going to be offering upgrades to the chassis. If enough of our dealers are running, specific surfaces, we can probably look at making new tires or different tires, I guess I should say.
Right. And I'm just going to throw that out there. Shots fired. Tech One Drift just said, I run a 10.5. Ooh.
Tech One Drift is the 2022 U.S. Drift King.
Drop the mic. I'm done. Thank you guys for coming. That's my inspiration right there. It's all fun and games till somebody loses a competition, right? All right. When will the kits be available for purchase? Guys, they should be available within the next couple of days. We hope to have them out before the weekend arrives, but that may get delayed as late as early next week. So stay tuned. If you're looking for a kit, that's your ball game. That's what you want. It is coming. They are here in-house. We are just getting things ready to make them available for you guys. Does it come with extra muffler bearings? You know, the muffler bearings?
Yeah.
No, you're going to have to buy those separately, unfortunately. Is there space for mob audio speakers?
I mean, there's a lot of empty space on the chassis.
I mean,
so, you know.
it also depends on the body you run, I'm sure, right? But I like the way you think, man. I love the way you think. And Rob Nick says, Tech One Drift, you're on another level. You don't count. I love it. I love it, man. Let's see here. JG, thank you so much. He says, you guys killed it with this one. We appreciate that, man. Like I said, Shane put a lot of hard work into it. It's something that the entire staff and team is really proud of. And, man, we're all having fun with it. I've never seen this many employees on one of our products buy the product. Like, all of a sudden, we have like 15 drift guys in the shop.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then before that, I think we only had maybe one or two. Yeah. He was the one. Two. That was not me. All right. Dark Woods RC says, great job, guys. All right. So, which one?
The differential.
Oh, this one?
Yep.
Is it locked or open diff?
It's an open diff. Personally, I'm not a fan of spools. So it's an open diff with 5,000 CST fluid in it.
Awesome. 710 RC's no Taco Bell stickers. Anti-Taco Bell. No. All right. How many hole pistons?
6-hole pistons. I believe they're a 1.3. Not 100% sure on the hole size, though. Definitely 6 holes.
In your opinion, is this chassis competitive against, let's say, something like a Shark, MC1, RDX, and maybe MD01? This is all stuff that I don't know. So
yeah, so it really depends on the driver. Like, I would consider myself a fairly good driver.
So just like Shane that owns a Corvette, just because you own a vet doesn't really mean you can drive a vet.
So yeah, it really depends. Like, I went with a kind of new for me electronic selection in this car, so I'm still kind of learning it, but it's pretty solid.
Since the car has DDS, will it come with a servo saver?
It will not come with a servo saver. The whole point of having a direct steering setup is that it's direct, so like you get the best steering feel out of the car. So there's no servo saver necessarily.
Does the shocks take any JOA replacement parts?
Don't know.
Okay, I don't even know what that is.
Not sure.
Okay, all right, guys, we're gonna speed this up and start wrapping this bad boy up. How did we come up with the colors?
I don't know. Apparently they're the same colors as the Thunder Drift, which is a totally different product. That's our all-wheel drive line. That's more of it's not necessarily a masher, but it's more of a touring car. This is specifically designed for rear-wheel drive RC drifting.
Right. Tommy Ohio wants to know, then why does Gens Ace only allow 4mm? They don't. They also have 5mm. If you don't know, check out their website. They actually have 5mm as well.
The shocks are a very common O-ring size. This 10 scale shock size for touring cars, a lot of O-rings will fit. So if you're guessing, ask a friend who has one.
Right. Craig, are you going to offer these as a kit or as a rolling chassis? As mentioned before, yes, the kit will be available in the next coming days. We already answered that.
The kit will be $239 for those who missed it earlier. A lot of 10.5 life. Cool.
See, there's a lot of 10.5 guys in here. Yeah, way to go.
We will be offering aftermarket pieces whenever I have time from other projects.
I love it, man. All right, guys. So with that said, guys, we're going to wrap this bad boy up. I'm going to share with you guys the little bit of a clip, the last clip that did not make the original cut. But we do appreciate you guys taking the time, sitting down, talking to us. We hope we were able to answer a lot of your guys' questions. I see a lot of people in here that are actually hardcore into the drift scene and came up with some valid questions that I don't think I ever would have been able to answer. So I do appreciate you being in here and helping out with that aspect of it as well. So I'm just kind of going forward here. Wow, Lots of comments. Okay.
There we go.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys. As mentioned, next week, no live show. We may go live impromptu from the airport as we're flying out to USTE. If you want more information or maybe seeing some of the unboxings that were done by some other influencers, check out some of the links in the description. You can also search on YouTube just for Redcat RDS. You'll find quite a bit of videos already out and a lot of people's experience going from novice to some guys that really know what they're talking about and have a lot of experience with the drift car, RC drift car scene. So we appreciate you guys. You guys stay safe. You guys stay blessed. Shane, dude, you did an amazing job. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving us something that, for me, like the lowrider scene, is something awesome to be a part of. I look forward to seeing what folks do with them. I appreciate you being a part of this team and being a part of all of this creation, man. I'm juiced. Like, I don't know if you guys can tell. I am genuinely stoked. And we've been just watching the comments come in and we're looking at each other like, this is so cool. We're geeking out. So guys, thank you so much. Shane, thank you so much. The entire team, you guys did an amazing job. This is an awesome, stellar product. I look forward to it. And I'm going to leave you guys with this last outro clip. Until next time, you guys stay safe. We'll see you guys in Florida, where I'll be going live almost daily. Peace. Listen, I hyped you up, bro. I don't care what you say. You owe me tacos for that one. I was like, he's the best.
We'll go to Taco Bell after this.
He did a great job.